Hi Fueled Up friends, welcome back or welcome. My name is Ashley, aka Food for Fuel Dietitian. On my channel, I give you tips and tricks to eat more plants in order to fuel your mind, body, and soul. In today's video, I'm gonna show you yet another way to eat beans. I really like this recipe because you can always have a can of chickpeas on hand or a can of cannellini beans on hand, and it's just super simple. It's a good lunch meal. So what it is chickpea salad. So here I have a little bit of a mix of chickpeas and cannellini beans, and I'll explain why in a second. Some celery. I diced it up really nicely because I don't like too big of chunks. And carrots. So these things will add a little bit of a crunch. The chickpeas we're gonna mash up. And then I do have a little bit of a dressing that I made with cannellini beans. So because I used 2/3 of a cup of cannellini beans, I figured why not use the rest in with the chickpeas and mash them up together. So that's what I'm gonna do. And just to show you here, I have chickpeas and cannellini beans, both low sodium. However, a little tip here, really check the back because even though this one says low sodium, it's actually higher in sodium than the one that doesn't even say low sodium on the front. So just something to keep in mind. What we're gonna do is take the potato masher, if you have one, or a fork, or you can honestly use your hands if you want, a food processor, and we're gonna mash up the beans. It's a good workout too. So as you can see here, I left some of the beans whole. You can mash them completely or food process them if you want, but I'm gonna keep some whole for more texture. And then you just add the other ingredients in. So here I'm adding the celery, and the carrots. And now I'm just gonna pour in the dressing. I'm just gonna use as much as I need, and then if I have any extra, I can just use it for salads. Notice it's a nice, thick, creamy dressing. That's because of the cannellini beans. Now, if you don't wanna make your own dressing, you can always just buy, vegan mayonnaise. It's not as healthy of an option, but it tastes really good. You can also just use mustard. You can make another dressing, a creamy dressing with silken tofu if you wanted. So there's a lot of options. I will say mine is an Italian flavored one. You could also make more of a curried version, and I think that tastes really good with some raisins and apples and red onions and red peppers. All right, so it's all mixed up here. So what I like to do with this is I take an Ezekiel English muffin and I use that as the bun for a sandwich. I also sometimes like to do whole grain pita bread, and you can stuff that in there. You can also throw this over a salad for some extra crunch and some extra protein and texture. I think this is a great dish to have throughout the week to bring for lunches. You can even eat it as is. You can, dip crackers in it. You can even put it on, brown rice cakes, something like that. So if you guys have a can of chickpeas or cannellini beans or maybe both in your cupboards, I challenge you to make this recipe. For those of you who live on Aquidneck Island, I do have cooking classes every week on Thursdays, so check out the link in my description to see my website where you can sign up for that. Also in my description, I have a link to my poetry book, my Instagram, and my Facebook. So check those out, and I'll see you guys in the next video.